Have you ever read a comic book where the story was pretty good, but the characters were like so underdeveloped that it like kind of like dragged the story down? So let me show you how to make not a good, but how to make a legendary comic book character. One of the things that I think people struggle with when it comes to creating a new character is that I think people feel like, especially if it's a superhero character, that they want the character to be something that's different than that's been done before. They have to have some kind of unique powers that hasn't been done before. And for a lot of people, they feel like, I don't know what to do because all the good powers have been taken. Can he fly? He's strong. He's fast. He shoots lasers from his eyes. I mean, would he shoot something out of his hands? It's been done before. How do I, there's nothing left. It's all been done already. But here's what I'm about to tell you. So here's the first component, especially when it comes to superhero characters. The power of the characters are actually the least interesting part of the character. So let's use Superman as an example. So Superman, created in 1938 by Siegel and Schuster, was a very unique character at the time. I mean, it really has become the idea of what a superhero can be. So since Superman was created, how many times have we seen Superman as an idea or powers? Most of those times, those other characters were kind of crappy. And the reason why is not because they had the same powers as Superman, but because they were not original. They were not unique in the character of who they were as a character. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to create a Timu Superman. It's just like Superman, but not as good. Who wants that? Nobody wants a Timu Superman. If you want to create Superman, you want to make him unique. So there have been other times where people have created a character with the same powers as Superman, and they were characters that are beloved. So, for example, Shazam. Shazam, originally named Captain Marvel, was made 1 year after Superman. So Superman was made in 38, and then Shazam, or originally named Captain Marvel, came out in 39. And because Superman was such a big hit, people say, hey, let's get on this. Let's make something like Superman. But Shazam, or Captain Marvel at the time, really stood out because it wasn't just the idea that they made him a character with the same powers. They made the character unique and his creation differently. And they got sued. So they got sued and they lost, that they said, you stole our character. And so it's a long story about how the character of Captain Marvel, which is now named Shazam, and now how DC actually owns both characters now, when it's a crazy story. But anyway, they created a character that was very similar to a character that was already created, but it stood out because they made it unique. Another character like Superman that stands out. Omni-Man pretty much got the same powers as Superman, but is Omni-Man like Superman? They're not even close. So the question you really want to ask yourself, regardless of the powers, is how do I make this character unique beyond the powers? So for all the people who are struggling to make a great or legendary comic book character, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Know the character. So when I say know the character, I mean, like, who are they? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And I'm not just talking about their powers, but as a person. What is their raison d'etre? Why do they exist? What's their favorite food? How are they treated as a child? Why are they here? So you think about like Spider-Man, right? One of the most beloved and developed characters, I think, overall, because I love Spider-Man. If you couldn't tell, still to this day my favorite character of all time, Spider-Man. And people can empathize with the character of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And you want to know your character and understand your character so people can empathize with them. And it doesn't even mean it's got to be a good character or a good person. So even a character like Magneto. Magneto is a villain. But no one person is all good or all bad, typically. There are some. But no person is typically all good or all bad. And so when you think about a character, a hero or villain, why are they doing what they're doing? There's got to be a reason. Spider-Man's doing something because he feels his responsibility. He has his powers and he has a great responsibility to do something. Magneto's doing what he's doing because he feels like, my people have been persecuted and I refuse to be a victim, and I'm going to go out and do whatever I got to do so my people can survive. Because again, Magneto's mindset is almost a noble mindset, although I think many people feel like he was going about it the wrong way. It's simple, but not easy, because it takes time to get to know a person. You know, so it takes time to get to know your character. Another way you can go about doing this is think of yourself as a reporter and someone's sending you on a job to go and interview someone who you've never heard of, never talked to, don't know anything about them. And they say, I want you to go sit down with this person and interview them, and I want you to tell me their whole life story. Like, who are they before they got to the point of them being introduced to the audience in the comic book? So that as an assignment can really get you to the point of understanding who they are. You know, do you have any siblings? You know, what's your favorite childhood memory? You know, what's the saddest thing ever happened in your childhood? Why are you here? Interviewing this person, and there's no topic off limits. You can ask as much as you want. And I would say take time to do that. Dope, right? That was dope. It was so dope that you liked the video, you subscribed to my channel, and you hit the little notification bell, and you hyped up the channel, you hyped me up, all that stuff. And if you would like to, and I would appreciate it, if you would buy me a coffee. You know, speaking of legendary characters, this can't get more legendary than this guy right here. But if you buy me a coffee, it really helps me out. It helps the channel. It helps me grow. It helps me do videos more often. All that good stuff. So you can click the buy me a coffee button below if you like to. No pressure, but buy me a coffee. No, you don't have to do that. But I would like it. I would appreciate it. So thank you. So let us move on. Questions and comments. Please put your questions and comments below. I am answering 90% of the questions and comments that come through, if you haven't noticed. Also, people are asking me now about doing some personal coaching and helping them through the creation of their book, creation of starting their own publishing company, and I don't mind doing that. So I am actually in the process of setting that up to do that. There will be a nominal fee, you know, nominal, but even after doing that, I will still answer questions and comments as I can as we go along, because I don't mind doing that. You know, we're all one community. I love you guys. I appreciate you. See you soon.